Yeah.
Yo, what's happening, everybody? What's going on? Welcome to another episode. Y'all know what it is. It's the biggest skip. Y'all know who I be. It's big. Y'all know who that is.
Notorious SKIP. Welcome back. It's the Big and Skip Podcast Season 3, Episode 4. Here we are. We got a lot to talk about in the world of sports. Once again, always, signal station identification. Press that like button, press that share button, press that subscribe button. Tell a friend, bring a friend, come again.
Before we get started, let's give some rest in pieces. First of all, this man was a great on the court and even a better person off the court. Dikembe Mutombo. Brain cancer took him out. It's unfortunate, so rest in peace, Dikembe Mutombo. What's your memories of Dikembe Mutombo?
I just think that he was one of the people that shattered the mold for like the international players as far as like not just African players but international players. Like, you don't have to be a scorer, you can come in the NBA and play defense and make a name for yourself. He was awesome. He was phenomenal for what he did with the stature that he had. He was 7'2", but he wasn't like a stick, but he wasn't like built. Like, it's so much that I could say about him. Bro played defense, he rebounded, he was a phenomenal teammate. And everywhere he went, he made a difference. When he was on Denver, they upset Seattle in the first round of the 94 playoffs, back when the playoffs were the five-game format. When he went to Atlanta, their trajectory went up, which increased his value in stock. Actually, he got paid coming from Denver going to Atlanta, right?
He did, yeah.
And then he wound up going to Philadelphia for the Theo Ratliff. In 01, they had a great run.
He was defensive player.
The only team to beat our Lakers in 2001. So, shout out to the Mutombo family.
Don't forget that after Philly, it was the then New Jersey Nets when they went to the finals in 03.
The NBA truly lost a great one in their fraternity.
Yeah. Never forget Mutombo and the new. And we go back to the, you said the 95 first round when they upset Seattle, the then Seattle Sonics. 8 seed beating the 1 seed
Best
for
record
the
in the
first
league
time ever. And you see Mutombo clutching the ball, pause on the ground, crying. That's an image of Mutombo that every basketball fan knows. Him on the floor at whatever that arena was called in Seattle, because it wasn't Key Arena yet.
I believe it was Key Arena at that time.
No, it was before they moved to Key Arena. It was right. That was the year before. Him in a Denver Nuggets black uniform with the whatever color that was trimming, and him crying with the flat top because they just pulled off a historic upset. So
they almost did 2 upsets. They took Utah to 7 games the next series.
They sure did. I will always give him credit for being one of the few guys that said, "I don't need help guarding Shaq." Were you successful? No, but I give you credit for saying I don't
Ben
need
Wallace
help
is the only 2 people
guarding Shaq.
Shaq is gonna get his, but
but he didn't ask for help. He did it on his own. So, rest in peace to the great Dikembe Mutombo. His name was Dikembe Mutombo on some other stuff I don't know off the top of my head, but Dikembe Mutombo, salute. And Pete Rose. Pete Rose, for those of y'all that don't know baseball like that or don't follow baseball, I didn't know about the Pete Rose saga. Pete Rose was suspended for life from baseball for gambling on the game when he was a manager, coach, whatever. I think he was a manager of the Cincinnati Reds, and he was gambling on the game. They found out, they suspended him from the game for life, which is why he's not in the Hall of Fame. And we're talking about the all-time hits leader, Pete Rose. Cincinnati Reds.
He might get a posthumous induction now.
It won't do it any justice because, in my opinion, they, at some point, there are people that have done way worse than that they didn't suspend from the game for life. I'm talking about in baseball, basketball, football, any sport. At some point, like, he did his time. He gambled on the game, did the crime, he did the time. At some point, you got to acknowledge that man for being the all-time hits leader. You don't give just regular people nicknames. Everybody, when they think E40. One of his nicknames is Charlie Hustle, right?
Among many.
Among many. One of his nicknames is Charlie Hustle. The original Charlie Hustle is Pete Rose. The original Charlie Hustle in the 70s.
You can't tell the story.
When the Reds were the Reds.
You can't tell the story of Major League Baseball in its totality.
No.
Without telling this, without Pete Rose being included.
No, you can't. No, you cannot. Pete Rose is a part of the game. He's the all-time hits leader. When people come into the game, and I don't know if that record will ever be broken, because we talking over 4,000 hits. 3,000 is a milestone. Only 2 people got 4,000 hits in their career. Him, is it Ty Cobb? Ty Cobb is the other guy.
I want to say something right now, since we're in the subject of Pete Rose and we talking about gambling, right? So all this is alleged, fans. Michael Jeffrey Jordan, the great one,
Yep.
was gambling. We don't know if he was gambling on the Bulls games, but he was gambling.
Yeah.
And I've heard that the suspension, even in his speech, he said, if the commissioner lets me come back, if you retiring on your own fluidity and fruition, then why would the commissioner need to let you come back? So I've read that he was asked to step away for the bad press.
You're talking about
because
Michael
of Michael Jordan. He was asked by David Stern, because David Stern has a lawyer background. He was asked by David Stern to just disappear for a while, which is why he wound up on the White Sox affiliate, also owned by Jerry Reinsdorf, the owner of the Chicago Bulls. Like, just go over here, man. Let the press die down. You know, you got mobsters getting found with checks for $900,000 written by Michael Jordan because he's gambling on golf. And I'm only bringing this up, fans, and big, because Pete Rose was banned for life for gambling. It don't matter what he was gambling on, gambling, right? So,
yeah, but
would you say Michael Jordan and Pete Rose can be mentioned in the same breath and sentence as
No.
far as their impact on the game
No.
and what they accomplished?
as far as their impact on the game, yeah, but as far as the gambling, no.
No, not the championships. I'm just talking about...
No, I didn't say championship.
Yeah.
I said gambling.
Oh.
The reason why I say no to the gambling, because Jordan never gambled on basketball.
We don't know that.
Until proven otherwise.
That's why I said everything is alleged, fans.
Until proven otherwise, he didn't gamble on basketball. He gambled on other things that had nothing to do with basketball.
I heard he gambled on everything.
Well, it never came up, and David Stern never suspended him. So,
Yeah.
So we can't. It's kind of like the Barry Bonds situation with him taking HGH and all that stuff. It's alleged. It was never proven, but we know what Barry Bonds was doing.
I mean,
right?
if Barry Bonds was doing it, then Pujols was doing it. That's just my thoughts. Because it's no.
But you also
it's no what's the word I'm looking for? Isn't it a coincidence that when he goes to the Angels of Anaheim, his stats dip because he got off the stuff?
But I don't think he was ever on the stuff, because after the whole steroids era, they started random drug testing any and everybody that played the game, especially if you was doing what Albert Pujols was doing. He never had a drug test that came back positive. So in that aspect alone, I'm going to say he wasn't doing it because he never had a drug test that came back positive.
All right.
That's why I'm going to leave that. But
all right,
again, rest in peace, Pete Rose. I still think it's a travesty that he's not in the Hall of Fame. He'll probably never get in the Hall of Fame because Major League Baseball won't let him in the Hall of Fame, and I think that's wrong. So, rest in peace to Pete Rose, a couple of sports legends that we've lost recently.
Rest in peace, my nigga John Amos.
Yeah,
my
off the
nigga
record.
Cleo McDowell, my nigga Big John Evans.
James Evans.
Just, hey, my bad. Jersey's own, a man that represented us well and proud. He never did no feminine things. He never put on women garb. He represented us well. And for those of you that don't know, that man left Good Times, a top-rated show, because of the fact that eventually he wanted them to get out the hood. Eventually he wanted them to be shown in a different light and not always in the struggle, not always in the projects. So John Amos, along with Lou Gossett Jr., Denzel Washington, Sidney Poitier, Don Cheadle, these are black men that have carried us. And he doesn't get he's known as the angry black guy, but He was a very educated, very just a strong, powerful figure. All the like characters that he played, like he's played a strong dad figure in Coming to America. He played a strong dad figure in Good Times. Just I fuck with it. I fuck with it. I dig it.
Yeah. So rest in peace to all those guys. You know,
how much of an impact the person is going to play in the black community and black entertainment, black cinema until, you know, they're no longer. I'm just glad he's got his flowers. And just, you know, it's a tremendous loss. Salute to the Amos family.
Yeah. All right, let's get to a hot topic that happened during the week. NBA season is here. Preseason games happened last night. You know, in Abu Dhabi, the Celtics and Nuggets played. The Lakers and Timberwolves played in Palm Springs and all that. But there was a trade that happened, Skip. The Minnesota Timberwolves out of nowhere, depending on who you ask.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Depending on who you ask, they traded Karl Anthony Towns. Well, I'm just going to say the main stuff because it was a 3-team trade. Some draft picks, some money was involved. But the main names, Karl Anthony Towns got traded to the New York Knicks for Julius Randle and Dante DiVincenzo. Initial thoughts, man.
I just want to say that
I got some thoughts.
Before I get on the aftermath, this is what I want to say. Everybody wins, and I'm gonna explain why I say everybody wins. Julius Randle gets the opportunity to go over to the West and play with a decent team. They may or may not re-sign him. He gets a chance to improve his capital, maybe get a contract from them, maybe get a contract with somebody else. Cat gets to go play with Tibbs, somebody he's familiar with, somebody who was going to make him not shoot threes, maybe might bring the best out of him. I've heard in the last week, supposedly Thibodeau is supposed to be some kind of hold on. Supposedly Thibodeau is supposed to be some kind of center whisperer. I don't know. But I just feel like New York maybe jumped the gun in the aspect of they should at least waited to December or the trade deadline to see how the team as constructed would have went with the healthy Randle. That's just my thoughts. You know what I mean? But I don't know. Maybe they trying to strike while the oven hot. They got some good teams, good players over there. They just picked up Mikal Bridges, so I guess they felt like in that aspect, in regard that DiVincenzo was expendable. I don't know. It's kind of perplexing for me because it's like to prick up a person like Cat, it can go one or two ways. Either he's going to excel and ball out and be the addition that they was looking for, or the New York fans and the New York media will crush him like Thanos crushing moons, throwing him at Tony Stark, Iron Man on the planet of Titan. Go ahead.
First of all, the trade that was made, the reason why New York made the trade is because they wanted a big who could stretch the floor.
Is that the reason, or was they trying to compete with Boston in their lineup and try to get somebody for KP?
You just answered my question. That was the second reason.
Did I? Or did we say the same thing differently? I don't know. We said
the same thing differently.
All right.
They want a big who could stretch the floor. Julius Randle ain't competing with Kristaps Porzingis. That's just not happening. You're not going to go into a 7-game series with the Boston Celtics with Julius Randle as your starting center and say, I need you to defensively deal with Kristaps Porzingis.
He wasn't going to be their starting center. Mitchell was.
And what is he going to do, come off the bench?
No, he's going to be the 4.
And then who – okay. So here's the issue with the Mikal Bridges trade. The one issue that I saw with the Mikal Bridges trade.
He's 3.
Mikal Bridges is a 3. So you starting Jalen Brunson, you starting Mikal Bridges, you starting Julius Randle, you starting Mitchell Robinson. You gonna put Josh Hart on the bench and start Dante DiVincenzo? Here's what the Knicks were thinking. Here's what the Knicks are thinking with this trade. We can start Karl Anthony Towns at the center position. And
who's the 4?
They're gonna go small. Look at Boston.
Oh, y'all forgot.
Look at Boston.
OG.
That's what I'm missing. OG Anunoby. He wasn't coming off the bench.
Nah.
So that's where you have the. So that's where you have the problem. Randall,
I get it.
Randall
They
and
paid OG the money.
Randall and Anunoby and Brunson starting.
I got it.
Then you got 3 people. That's 3 people. You got 2 more people that out of Josh.
That's crazy. That would have created a log jam because Randall can't play the 3.
Exactly.
Mikal Bridges is an addition. He got to play.
Exactly. So now the Knicks, with the moves they made, you could start. You could start Randall. I mean, not Randall. You could start Brunson. You could start Anunoby. You could start Mikal Bridges. You could start Karl Anthony Towns and put whoever else, whether it's Josh Hart, whoever else, in the starting lineup.
I feel you. The reason why playing positionless basketball, so Randall can be 5
because he's too little for Porzingis. He's too little for Porzingis. He's too little for the Milwaukee Bucks.
Yeah, but in turn, they can't guard him in the paint.
He too little for Bam Adebayo in Miami. He too little for the Cleveland Cavaliers.
I seen him fuck over Bam.
I ain't never saw that. I ain't never saw that. I'm sorry. I haven't seen him do shit with Bam Adebayo. I think this trade helps New York because
who does it help more?
New York.
All right.
I think it helps New York more because, and I'm gonna get on Minnesota in a second. It helps New York more because, like I said, it gives them a 7-footer who can stretch the floor, who you can go out there defensively and say, deal with Kristaps Porzingis, because even with him being 7 foot, 6'11", whatever he is, Kristaps Porzingis is 7'4".
Is his mental prepared for the New York media and the New York fans?
That's what's going to determine whether this is going to be a success or a failure. If his mental is ready for New York, because New York is ready to win now. They're not rebuilding. Their rebuilding days are done. The Knicks are ready to win now. And quiet as kept, the Knicks, we all know the Knicks would have made the East Finals last year had they been healthy. We know that. Even though some people say they may not have beaten Philly if Philly was healthy. That's an argument. That's an argument for another day. We're not gonna get into that.
Bullshit.
We're not gonna get into that. Like I said, we're gonna get to Minnesota in a minute. My question to you about the Knicks making this trade is, does this trade, we know this trade don't make the Knicks better than Celtics. The Celtics are the champs. To you, I'm gonna throw out I'm gonna throw out some teams in the East, because we know who the big dogs in the Eastern Conference are. The Knicks are one of them. Does this trade make them better, a healthy Knicks team, better than a healthy Philadelphia team that just added Paul George?
I think it's a wash. You know why I say it's a wash? I say it's a wash because the if in it is Cat willing to stop shooting 8 threes a game and get in the post and play more dirtier and grimier?
No.
And is he going to be able to take the media and the press? And then with Philly, Paul George, to me, he didn't have to, for me, just speaking for myself, Paul George didn't have to say, I don't care about, I'm a number 2 guy. I think that was preposterous for him to say that. Like, if that's how you feel, bro, that's something maybe you should have kept to yourself. But I just feel like, okay, boom. He came into the league, a prospect. That was Danny Granger's team. Danny Granger don't get hurt. He's a number 2 guy. He's been a number 2 guy everywhere he went. He was a number 2 guy with Russ. He was a number 2 guy with Kawhi. Ever since he broke his leg and
Danny Granger was good, but he's not better than Paul George. Just stop that shit right now. Stop that shit right now.
To me, to quote my boy, shout out my boy E Breezy, his buckets don't matter. What he do don't matter. To me, he's a talented basketball player, but he reminds me of Tracy McGrady in the aspect of, I don't think that mentally he's all there. Like, he's mentally fragile. In the moments where you need him to show up, he don't show up. And B too. Niggas have brain farts and meltdowns when they supposed to be like my nigga Benny the Butcher and Lil Wayne said, are you a big dog or are you a little puppy? And if Paul George do what the fuck he's supposed to do and be the player that they pay $200-something for, which is to be a lockdown defender, show up in fucking the playoffs, be consistent, take care of yourself so you don't be injured, and show some heart, show some balls, my nigga. Be a franchise player. Don't fucking fold, my nigga, when it really matters. Because to me, at the end of the day, and I got this mentality from me being a Cowboy fan, it's like, I don't give a fuck about fucking punk-ass Jack's numbers. This shit is bullshit. He's garbage. It don't matter if we go 15-1. And we gonna keep losing in the divisional round of the playoffs like Joel Embiid keeps losing in the fucking second round of the playoffs, or Paul George keep losing in the second round of the playoffs. really, how great are they? How value? So that's why I said it's a wash. They both made acquisitions and additions, but will these acquisitions come through fluidity?
I'm gonna tell you why I say no. I don't think this makes the Knicks better than Philly. Healthy Joel Embiid, and he kills Cat every time they play. That's all I'm gonna say.
They do.
Does the Knicks, this move make the Knicks better than the Milwaukee Bucks?
Yes.
How? How?
You know how I feel about Giannis, but I'm not gonna get into that. I'm gonna just say that until Dame and Giannis figure it out, because they still haven't figured it out.
No, they haven't.
So until they figure it out, the jury is still out on them. Everybody in the East got question marks. Even Miami, they got question marks. Are they going to add another guy? Is Jimmy going to leave? Like, I can't really assess it. So I got to see it.
So the answer to the next question is, does this New York move make them better than a healthy Miami team? When we say healthy Miami team, we're talking Jimmy Butler, we're talking Bam Adebayo, we're talking Terry Rozier. Don't forget they got him.
Yeah, I know.
We're talking Tyler Hero. We're talking Duncan Robinson.
Yeah.
We're talking about the UCLA kid. The kid from that Josh Christopher, I think his name, that they got that
I know you talking about.
Played on their summer league team. He nice. But what I do know is, even with all that, Miami has New York's number. No matter what happens, if they meet in the playoff, Miami seems to beat New York, except for that 1 year with Allen Houston.
But we can't make no assessments on the NBA, I feel like, to the trade deadline. Trey is going to be moved. Ingram is probably going to be moved. I don't know. We'll see how that plays out. If New Orleans have a good season, he may or may not be moved. You know what I mean? Right now, it's the preseason. Right now, it's early. I can't. This is how I feel about the NBA. We don't know until after or around All-Star break, after the trade deadline, because the rosters is not set.
That's the rosters are set. Because
what I mean by that, the rosters, the way they situated now, won't be the way they are at the end for some teams.
Yeah, but you talking some teams. That's a very few teams. It's not like half the league is going to make trades at the deadline. That's not how the league works. A few teams may make a trade here and there. You may see one or two blockbuster trades, but I can tell you, you're not going to make a move. Boston ain't making a move. They don't need to. New York not making a move. They don't need to. Milwaukee not making a move. They don't need to. Philly ain't making a move. They don't need to. So if those four teams,
you talking about in the league or in the East?
I'm talking about in the East.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, they don't need to make
those four
move.
teams that don't need to make a move at the deadline because their rosters are set. So again, I don't think this makes New York better than Boston. Boston's a champ. So I'm gonna give them their respect. I hate them, but I'm gonna give them their respect. You said it's a wash with Philly. And you said this makes them better than Milwaukee because Milwaukee needs to figure out Dame and Giannis. That's where we'll leave it. I think no to all three of those teams. But we'll see. West, Minnesota. Now
we forgot about Cleveland, but hey.
Cleveland ain't in that echelon. We're going to go to the West. Minnesota. Yeah, I said it. Cleveland's not in that echelon with those four teams. They're not. They're in the echelon with them and Orlando.
Orlando or Cleveland can beat anybody on any night. In any series?
No, in any night, yeah. In any series, no.
We'll see. They just signed Evan Mobley. And they got
the
tall nigga with the fro.
They've had Jared Allen and Evan Mobley for about 3 years. They haven't beaten nobody in the playoffs.
Right.
Except Orlando.
Garland didn't show up.
That's the problem. That's the problem.
Oh, I just want to make sure you wouldn't put it on Spider.
That's the problem. The guys don't show up when it matters.
And speaking of which, since we on this, I just want to talk about this quickly. On one of the shout out All Ball TV. You know what I mean? I was watching this show, these guys I follow on YouTube, All Ball, and they had a conversation. They was talking about Spider. And to me, he's one of the top 2 guards in the league. You know what I mean? To me. I'm not saying this is just a fan. The numbers show it. I feel like he deserved to be talked about.
Him and who?
Huh?
Him and who?
Who? They talked about him and Ja. They talked about him and I really don't think it's a discussion because the man scored 70 points.
So what?
What more does he have to do?
Just because you score 70 points, Tony Delk scored 50 points in a game before. Does that make him on the level of Kobe Bryant?
Hey, I've heard former NBA players. I've heard former NBA players on Gilbert Arenas podcast call him Baby Wade.
Corey Brewer.
That's a hell of a compliment.
That is a hell of a con. That don't make you a top 2 guard in the league.
Name me some guys that's better than him.
I'll take John Morant over him. I'll take Steph Curry over him. I'll take Kyrie Irving over him. I'll still take James Harden over him. There's a lot of people in the league I would take over Donovan Mitchell right now.
On what grounds?
On the grounds that Donovan Mitchell doesn't get the team to where he needs to go as the number one guy.
So
Donovan Mitchell has been in the. It don't matter.
We're talking about Utah.
Donovan Mitchell has been in the league long enough to where his numbers don't matter to me no more. I want to see you win, and he hasn't done it. When did Donovan Mitchell see the conference final with Utah or Cleveland? The 1 year he should have saw the conference final, you lost to a Clipper team that Kawhi Leonard got hurt after Game 4, and Terrence Mann dropped 39 on y'all in an elimination game.
The spider guard Terrence Mann.
It don't matter. You Donovan Mitchell. You one of the top 2 guards in the league. Go get it. You was the number 1 seed that year in the West. Utah was the number 1 seed or number 2 seed, whatever it was. I think Phoenix was the number 1 seed that year. But my point is that Donovan scoring points, I don't care about that no more. Because I know you can score. I know you athletic. I know you an all-star. I know you are NBA. I know that. But now I want to see you win in the playoffs. That's what I want to see from Donovan Mitchell. I don't care about his stats. He's at that point in his career now.
To quote Chuck, a.k.a. Allen Iverson, we're talking about Cleveland.
So what? So what? You a top 2 guard in the league.
That's
You can't you can't do that. You can't call somebody a top 2 guard in the league and then say, oh, because of where he played no. You a top 2
What has
guard.
Memphis done and what have they accomplished? What has Ja accomplished other than brandishing guns on
It's the
TV and
same
fucking
thing.
off his
It's the
opportunity
same
to be
thing.
the face of the league?
It's the same thing, but guess what? Ja's younger than Donovan Mitchell.
It remains to be seen. I think they'll be in the mix. They'll be
Second
top 4.
round ceiling, Cleveland Cavaliers. Again, they're not better than those 4 teams
Hey,
that you said I
Julius
named.
Garland and
They are not
what's the kid that played on Indiana?
They are not better. They are
what is
not.
his name?
They are not better than the 4 teams I mentioned in the East. They are not better than New York. They are not better than Milwaukee.
They're better than Miami.
They are not. I'm fighting that too.
They're better than Indiana.
Indiana's in that tier. Cleveland, Orlando, Indiana.
All right.
And of that second tier, I will put Miami in there. But Miami's better than those other 3 teams. You talk about the 8 teams that's gonna make the playoffs in the East, right? Boston's better than them. New York's better than them. Philly's better than them. Milwaukee's better than them. And then those second 4 teams, Cleveland, Miami, Indiana, and who's the Orlando. Out of those 4 teams, give me Miami. Healthy. Give me Miami.
Hey, I think Miami get got by Orlando. Orlando, they coming.
They are, but they not. No. West, Minnesota.
Yeah.
Now that Minnesota has Julius Randle and Dante DiVincenzo to add with Rudy Gobert and Jaden McDaniels and Ant-Man, because that probably be their starting 5.
And homie off the 6 man.
You know, homie, the dude, the 6 man, Nas Reed, the kid they drafted, Rob Dillingham. Luke Garza's a monster. I watched Minnesota that
Shea
game
Gilbert's
last night.
cousin.
Is he still on the Minnesota? He's still with
still
Minnesota.
there.
Minnesota got a squad still. I don't think their squad is best in the West squad anymore.
Is DiVincenzo gonna get minutes?
He's probably still going to start.
Okay.
He's probably going to start. He started last night, even preseason game, but he's probably going to start next to Conley in the backcourt. That starting lineup probably be Conley, DiVincenzo, Ant-Man, Randall,
and Gobert.
Although, I take that back. DiVincenzo probably will come off the bench because they'll probably start Ant-Man and Jaden McDaniels. I forgot about him. Jaden McDaniels is their defensive stopper.
You know,
so
Nas Reed is going to get more minutes than DiVincenzo.
Of course.
So he's going to be the 7th man off the bench?
Baby, he'll be the first guard off the bench.
All right.
He'll be the first guard off the bench. I don't think Minnesota is going to – they're going to be good. I'm not.
Are you saying they took a step back?
I think they took a slight step back.
All right.
I think they took a slight step back. I think Oklahoma City is going to be the best team in the West.
They got iHeart.
They got Caruso to go with the rest of the team.
Now Chet can play 4.
Huh?
Now Chet can play 4.
They're not going. That's not going to be a starting lineup. They're not going to do that.
No, they're not going to do iHeart and Chet.
No, they're not going to do that. They didn't sign him to be a starter. They signed him to back up Chet Holmgren.
I mean,
I feel
like Chet should play 4. The way his game is
dumb.
Huh?
That's dumb.
He's an athletic 4.
Athletic
big.
He's not going to play the 4 because he can't guard nobody on the perimeter. He's not going to play the 4. He's talking nonsense.
He's kind of thin.
He's talking nonsense. He's not going to play the 4. He's going to start at the 5. all right, Isaiah Hartenstein's going to come off the bench. The only reason why, let's not get ahead of ourselves here. The only reason why Isaiah Hartenstein was starting in New York because Mitchell Robinson got hurt. Let's not get ahead of ourselves here. He wasn't starting with the Clippers. Injury is the only reason he started with New York. And unless Chet get hurt, not wishing that on him, he's not starting with Oklahoma City. He's going to come off the bench.
So who's they for?
They go a small lineup. They go Williams, Dort, SGA. I don't even know who they starting point guard going to be no more because Josh Giddey's gone.
So don't you think it would be smart for them to play Chet at 4 the way Davis is played at 4 so you don't have to wear him down?
Stupid.
That means Davis should be playing 5 then.
He's 7 foot, whatever. He's not playing the 4. You're not starting no 7 foot guy at the 4. What are you talking about?
Dirk played 4.
Dirk was 6'11", and Dirk played in an era where you had centers, where you had those Twin Tower lineups. He played in that era. This ain't that era. He's not going to play the power forward, man. Remember, positionless basketball. You're not starting somebody that's 7'2" at the 4 position and say, go play on the wing and go guard Giannis Antetokounmpo out there.
Powell played the 4.
Powell had Andrew Bynum.
He played the 4 in Memphis too.
When he had no, he actually played the 5 in Memphis. He didn't play the 4. He was a starting center in Memphis. And when he came to the Lakers and Andrew Bynum got hurt, he was the center with Lamar Odom at the 4. Because Lamar Odom damn sure wasn't playing center.
So you saying Chet should play the 5 because of his height or because of his game? His game is more conducive to a stretch wing. I mean, a stretch 4.
No, it's not. This dude stepping out shooting threes like that.
Obviously, you ain't been watching that boy.
I've watched him more than I've watched him.
That's why I say he better than Wemby because to me, he's more NBA ready right now. That nigga can shoot. He shoot free throws. He got a mid-range game. He got a post game. He's one of them niggas, bro. I don't know. He on my radar. And I think that he's better than just having to play in, like I know in the NBA that we in now, it's like no bangers, but he should be able to play the stretch 4 where he can motherfucking create and be able to create and be a scorer.
That's not
his threat.
He could do that at the 5.
I feel it.
And he's not better than Wemby. I don't even believe you said that nonsense. He ain't nowhere near better than Wemby. Nowhere near.
In my opinion, it should have been co-rookie of the year. Just like in the WNBA, it should have been co-rookie of the year.
No,
but who am I?
No, it should not have, man. That to me tells me you didn't watch Wemby play. And I'm not going to get into the other one. We're not getting into
that was just...
We're not going to get into the other one. I got something to say about the other one, but I'll say that later. Look. Minnesota, to me, is not better than Oklahoma City now.
Nah.
I don't know. I think they might have fell behind Dallas. They already lost to Dallas, so...
Are they better than Memphis with a healthy Ja?
I don't know.
Are they better than Sacramento with the addition they made?
I think better than Sacramento.
Are they better than Golden State?
It's a lot of teams better than Golden State.
Are they better than Phoenix?
Yes.
Are they better than the Pelicans?
Yep.
Are they better than the Clippers?
Yes.
Are they better than our Lakers?
Yes.
So how did they take a step back? I just named a few teams that's going to be in the mix of things.
Because
are they better than the Rockets?
Yes. The reason why I think they took a step back because I don't think they're a conference finals team anymore. And I may get killed for what I'm about to say. Quite frankly, I don't care. I don't think Julius Randle fits.
You just don't. You've never been sold on him. Where you like, all right, he good.
I never said he was trash.
No, you're not. You just to me, you feel like no matter what he do, his buckets don't matter because you feel like it's other people better.
There are other people better. I just feel like his game doesn't translate into. I don't think his game meshes with Anthony Edwards' game.
Yeah, we'll see how that works.
Because what Minnesota is going to be is all right, you go ISO. All right, then you go ISO. You want to go ISO again? All right, now it's my turn to go ISO. I don't think they're going to make the West Finals again this year.
Nah.
I think Oklahoma City will be in the West Finals against who I don't know. I could say against Dallas. I could say against Sacramento. I could say the West is open.
Oh, are they better than Denver?
Denver's another team. They might be on the same level as Denver. Let me not forget about them. I think losing Karl Anthony Towns it's going to hurt them against a team like the Denver Nuggets because regardless of what anybody say, Rudy Gobert cannot guard Nikola Jokic. Rudy Gobert is overrated to me. Rudy Gobert should not continue to win Defensive Player of the Year. A guy that is not playable in the playoffs, a guy that is not playable in the gold medal game in the Olympics, a guy that's not playable when it matters, but you're supposed to be Defensive Player of the Year. Miss me with that.
I know what I see when I see Rudy Gobert.
Miss me with that.
I see
I'm sorry.
A French melanated version of Sean Bradley.
Maybe.
Do you disagree?
No. Not at all. Not at all.
Let's talk some football, man, real quick.
What you got?
Great win, Kurt. Set a
Hey,
franchise.
that was a game Thursday night. That was a game.
You know?
Man, that was a game
Kurt
Thursday
just
night.
proved, like I've been saying for the last 7 years, if you have a player and you put good things around them, if you give a chef 5-star course ingredients, they can give you a souffle. If you give them bullshit, i.e. Trevor Lawrence in Jaguars, i.e. Caleb in Chicago, i.e. Justin in Chicago, i.e. every quarterback that's been in Chicago over the last few years that maybe have had some talent and went somewhere else and showcase that. If you give a nigga 2 eggs and a banana, they can't make a souffle. But shout out to Kurt. Shout out to Baker. Y'all put on the show. The NFC South division is on fire.
No, it ain't.
And
no, it ain't.
Once Javonte goes to the New Orleans Saints or the New York Jets, whichever one, then, you know, the narrative in the NFL script is going to be a whole lot different.
First of all, the NFC South is not on fire because Saints ain't good like that. And Carolina is Carolina.
Yeah, we're not talking about them. I'm talking about the top 3 teams.
It's only 4 teams in the division. Now just name 2 of them that's not good like that.
What's up with them Philadelphia Pigeons?
Who cares? Number one, I'm gonna address what you said. Kirk Cousins. How much money has Kirk Cousins made in the league? A lot. Let's just say a lot. A lot of money. How many playoff wins does Kirk Cousins have?
1.
Does he?
I think he got 1.
With who?
The Vikes.
When?
I don't know.
Exactly.
I was taking an educated guess.
Exactly. So Kirk Cousins, remember what I said about Donovan Mitchell? He's at that point in the career where his stats don't matter. Kirk Cousins, you're at that point in your career where the regular season wins don't matter to me. That was a good game. I'm not going to take that from you. Great game, over 500 yards, touchdowns, great game. I'll see you in January, if you get there.
Looks like Washington might have a quarterback.
Washington does have a quarterback. Shout out to Jaden Daniels. He's nice. He's nice.
The Texans definitely have a quarterback.
Let's pump the brakes on him being league MVP because I heard some talk that he should be in the MVP talk. Let's pump the brakes on that because Washington a few more games. They're about to play Cleveland tomorrow. Tomorrow they should win that game. But let's pump the brakes on the MVP talk real quick. Philadelphia, they are who we thought they were. That's just my take on that. They are.
Is it the coach or is it the team?
It's the quarterback. It's the quarterback. Now, I'm going to give him a little bit of grace because his top 2 receivers are hurt. But this is the guy that they put up there with Patrick Mahomes as MVP every year because he went to the Super Bowl 1 year. He had a bad year last year. And you're doing the same thing this year that you did last year. So was that 1 year you went to the Super Bowl one-off? Because that's what I'm starting to think. I'm starting to think that 1 year you went to the Super Bowl was one-off.
It might be. It could be.
I'm just saying.
But he's missing his 2 top receivers. So,
right?
Let's take Travis Kelce away from the Kansas City Chiefs.
We took all the top receivers from the Kansas City Chiefs and they went and won a Super Bowl.
Let's take Travis Kelce away from the Kansas City Chiefs. And let's just say he's had a career-ending injury or they had a salary dispute and he got traded and he wasn't there these last 7 years. He would look the same as Jalen looks without his 2 starting receivers. If you have no one to throw to, your stats will be affected. Your play will be affected. The outcomes will be affected.
You know who didn't have nobody to throw to against the Rams? Brock Purdy.
He's a good quarterback. in the system under the coaching staff.
And I know, nope. Because Jalen Hurts.
You're not going to give Shanahan no credit.
Jalen Hurts plays in the system. Patrick Mahomes plays in the system. If you're a good quarterback, you can overcome that.
Who said anything about 15? I didn't say anything
about
15.
No. My point is, we're not. I'm saying Jalen Hurts. You play in a system. You're a good quarterback, right?
That's what they say.
But so if they say he's a good quarterback, why are we using he didn't have his guys excuse? If you're a good quarterback, that excuse don't apply. You're a good quarterback. Same with, you mentioned Trevor Lawrence earlier. Doesn't he play in the system that was created under some past coaches that run the same system that Mike Shanahan ran, that Kyle Shanahan is running now, that Sean McVay is running, that Andy Reid is running, Doug Peterson's, Nick Sirianni. I can go on and on and on and on and on. I can go on and on and on. You play in a system. You're a good quarterback. Why are you 0-4, Trevor Lawrence?
Who's their receivers? Who's their tight end? Who's their running back?
Evan Ingram is the tight end. Who's their receiver? It's not Calvin Ridley, but they got a top flight receiver down there. I forget his name. And Travis Etienne is their running back. A good running back in his league. You're 0-4. My bad. You're 1-3 because I think I beat the Dolphins. So I think they're 1-3. That's not true. They're 0-4.
Yeah.
That was Tennessee who beat the Dolphins the other night. You're 0-4.
Season's over.
You're one of how many winless teams in the NFL? Let's see here. Let me go through the list here. Let's see. Every team in that division won a game. Every team in that division has won a game. Every team in that division, but you have won a game. Every team in that division has won a game. Let's go to the NFC. 4 teams, they've won at least one game. Even the Panthers have won a game. Every team in that division has won a game. You're the only winless team in football.
Wow. No, they're not.
Who else?
The Panthers ain't won no game.
The Panthers have won a game. The Panthers beat the Raiders.
Beat the fucking Raiders.
They beat the Raiders.
Yikes.
You're the only winless team in football. Trevor Lawrence.
That's crazy, bro.
Wow. So, I'm sorry, man.
That's ill, son.
I'm sorry, man. I can't defend that. Anyway, I want to get on some heads real quick.
Yeah, man.
I know where I want to go. This is something that I wanted to address here because I don't like this shit.
Yeah.
I don't like this shit. The Caitlin Clark fans, not Caitlin Clark player, the Caitlin Clark fans. I need y'all to come to the front of the congregation so I can talk to y'all for a second. And fans across sports who's like this, but mainly the Caitlin Clark fans. Why do y'all make everything about race? Why are all these women in the WNBA that play for the team that you apparently cheer for, that play for other teams that you don't cheer for, why are they coming out saying that the Indiana Fever fans have given us death threats, they've made racial comments about us, derogatory slurs about us, and then those same fans went on IG and was posting comments about Caitlin Clark when she came out in support of Kamala Harris.
She didn't necessarily come out in support. She liked a photo that Kelsey's girl put supporting her, and a lot of her fans is Trump supporters, and they felt like she was supporting Kamala, and she said herself, I was just liking it. I haven't made a choice.
But here's my problem with that. My problem with that is what is wrong with her liking a photo of that? What is the problem?
I'm about to answer your question. Why are y'all? Her fans is from red states. She's from Iowa.
I don't give a fuck.
Where she's from, they don't like people that look like me and you. We don't support racism here, but that's just the facts of the matter. Her fans are from Iowa, North Dakota, Nebraska.
It's bullshit to me.
Wyoming.
It's bullshit to me.
Where it ain't that much black people.
It's bullshit to me because it's like now Caitlin Clark is in the WNBA, a league that's predominantly black. And y'all have a problem with black women now? Or black players from your team? Like, you was cheering Aaliyah Boston last year and the other black women on the team. Now you got a problem with them? You was watching other teams and cheering for other WNBA players that are black, and now you got a problem with them? Now you sending Angel Reese and these girls from who did they lose to when they played in the first round? Who did they lose to? Connecticut. Minnesota.
Yeah.
Nafisha Collier and all them talking about these fans is giving us death threats and this, that, and the other. on social media and on Twitter and this, that, and the other because what? Because y'all want Caitlin Clark to win that bad? What y'all telling them? If y'all win, we're going to send somebody to blow up your house, set your house on fire. We're going to do this, do that to you. Listen, I hate the fact that fans take the game, sports games so serious to where they have to feel like they have to do these things. I don't like fans that get in their feelings because their guy or their girl ain't the center of attention. I think that's bullshit. I think it's whack as fuck. And y'all need to stop that shit because y'all the same ones that's going to run to the cops and cry wolf if somebody clap back at y'all. Y'all not gonna have that energy in person if y'all run up on these people. And I'm talking about a man or a woman. Y'all not gonna have that energy if y'all run up on these WNBA players in person. Because these women got people around them that's gonna fuck you up. So y'all gotta cut that shit out. Cut the tough guy shit and the tough girl shit. Y'all ain't tough like that. Y'all just gotta, y'all hide behind your phone because, oh, we on our phone, we can say what we want to say. But y'all ain't got that same energy in person. And I don't care who this gets out to. I'm saying what I'm saying. If whoever this gets out to, that's a Caitlin Clark supporter, and you one of them fans, I'm talking to you. Because what I'm telling you not going to do is you're not going to run up on me. That's what you're not going to do. Because you ain't going to have that energy if you see me in person. So I also think you're not going to have that energy if you see these players in person. So if you're not going to have that energy when you see these players in person, don't have that energy on social media. Because it's coward shit. Watch the game, root for your girl, root for your team. If they win, cheer them on. If they lose, continue to support them. But don't send death threats and racial comments and derogatory slurs to these other black women or wherever they from that's not white. Because you feel like you on the phone and you tough. You're not tough. Y'all need to cut that shit out, man. That shit ain't necessary. And it's sad that in the WNBA, this is a topic of conversation when these women are out here busting their ass and balling their ass off. And we got to talk about this shit. It's bullshit to me.
Total. And I don't want to drag it on. I got a whole lot to say about the situation. I just want to say that Caitlin Clark is a baller. Phenomenal. She has potential to be a great player, a greater player. But at the end of the day, instead of we talking about her game, motherfuckers is talking about Stephen A. that she's box office. What does that have to do with her putting the fucking ball in the basket? I don't give a fuck about how much merch she sells. Because at the end of the day, it was other black players that bought Maya Moore just as good as her idol. And she didn't have no private jets and all that. At the end of the day, we shouldn't even be having this discussion again. And that's where I'm going to leave it at. It's to be concluded on the motherfucking WNBA season and Caitlin Clark's career. Shout out Andrew Reese. Now, I want to get on the Raiders head organization. Raiders organization come to the front of the congregation.
I'm not going to say what just came to my head about that, but go ahead, man. Go ahead.
For the last 20 years, y'all have been unable to keep free agents, Randy Moss. Y'all have been unable to keep ingrown drafted talent, Josh Jacobs, Winfro, Waller, and I don't know. Now y'all about to lose Adams, and I want Pierce to succeed. I fuck with him. I dig it. You know what I mean? But I just want to understand, like, everybody's supposed to be so proud to be a Raider, have Raider pride, but y'all can't keep the star players, the pieces that y'all need. Like, y'all should have never fired Del Rio, brought John Gruden from the booth, then y'all doubled down on that mistake and brought in a coordinator to be y'all coach, and then y'all gave away y'all quarterback, and now y'all been figuring out the fucking quarterback situation. I fuck with Jimmy G, but you know it is what it is. So it's just it's crazy. It's crazy. It's like, that's why I call the Raiders, as a Cowboy fan, our cousins, because we've been living in dysfunction for a long time, just like they have. Get it together, Raiders. Figure it out. Either keep Adams and try to make a run for it, or y'all better make a deal that's going to set y'all for future prospects and money and draft capital. But I don't see Adams being there. He's probably going to go to join his one of his two former quarterbacks on the Jets or the Saints. And yeah, Raiders, get it together, bro. I'm on y'all heads. No disrespect to all my Raider fans that might be a watcher of this or might hear this, and I fuck with the Raiders. You know what I mean? It's always blue and silver Cowboys over here, but Raiders. Come on, man.
I know we're going to roll up out of here real quick before we go. NLDS, ALDS start today.
Let's go, Dodgers.
Let's take care of business against these punk-ass motherfuckers from down there in San Diego because I'm about sick of them. So let's take care of business, Dodgers.
Press that like button. Press that subscribe button. Tell a friend. Bring a friend. Come again. This is the Big and Skip Podcast, Season 3.
Yes, sir. We out of here.
Yeah.